Hey guys, this is Jessica Gutierrez with Clean With Me podcast. This is a podcast where I walk you through cleaning your house step by step. So let's clean together. Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. I'm really sorry that I didn't record on Sunday. Time just went by so fast the next day that I was gonna record that evening, and then I just passed out because I was so exhausted from driving to Fort Worth, and then Monday came and I was really going to do it, and yeah, it just didn't work out because my husband got home late. But both my kids are miraculously asleep at the same time, so luckily I get to record the podcast right now and I don't have to stay up all night. Yay! But go ahead and get ready to clean. Do whatever you need to do to get ready. Put your hair up in a bun, light a candle. Maybe you want to freshen yourself up. Whenever I get ready for the day, it just gives me a little boost of energy to clean the house. Sometimes if I just lay around the house, in my pajamas for too long, I just lose motivation. With me anyway, it's a big issue for me. If I don't get ready like right when I wake up, then just my motivation is just out the window. So every once in a while I'll pretend like, I have somewhere to go and I'll get fixed up, and it just gives me a little boost, a little energy, because I feel like I'm ready to go for the day. I feel like I'm already being productive when I actually get ready, because it's not often I do. But even if it's not like fully getting ready, even just putting your hair up, or, just changing your clothes or rinsing off, whatever, it gives me a little boost for cleaning. But it means different things to different people, so whatever it is for you that gets you going, whether it's drinking a cup of coffee, iced coffee, treating yourself to Starbucks. Sometimes when I'm doing a deep clean, I'll just treat myself with an iced coffee from Starbucks or Sonic if I don't have money, or just, from my Keurig, and that'll get me going. Again, I'm all about the mind tricks, so I'm like, okay, I went and bought this iced coffee, which means I have to be productive today. I'm going to do it. I'm going to clean this house today. And then it usually works. And then if you do have kids, if you're in the same phase of life as me, then get them on an activity. If you have big kids, then maybe tell them to clean their room, or give them some easy chores. If you don't have a chore chart for them, maybe they just usually pick up your house, or whatever it is you have your big kids do. When I used to, be a kid, and my mom, had the chore charts or whatever, whenever she would get in the cleaning mode, she would have us do our chores as well. That way she can knock out the house faster. And when younger kids usually are in charge of picking up their toys or whatever. So when I'm cleaning too, I'll give my little ones little chores like picking up their toys, or just something just to keep them occupied. Honestly, obviously they don't really help me too much, but or I put them on an activity or a show if I'm being lazy, which most of the time it's a show. I'll admit it. And then once you are ready to go and you feel like you're motivated, and maybe you need to open your windows in your house, I usually wait till the living area to do that, just because my windows are in the living area. But if that gives you a boost to clean your house, then open up some windows. And then go ahead and head on to your kitchen, and let's start unloading all of the dishes in your drying rack or your dishwasher if you have a dishwasher, and put them where they go, just to make room for the dishes that we're about to clean. And a good tip my mom threw at me is that whenever sometimes she's cooking, she'll prep the sink with some hot soapy water to put the pans in as she cooks, to motivate her to clean as she cooks. And I thought that was a really good idea, and I'm going to start doing that as a way to at least put your pans soaking so that stuff doesn't get baked on as you're cooking. I think that's a good idea. I have definitely implemented that. And then while you're putting those away, I'll just let you guys know my foot did end up being broken. If you are on my social medias, you know that, and my Patreon and stuff like that. So it broke while I was visiting my mom, and then they set me up with an appointment to check on my foot to see if I need a cast or surgery, and they said it was most likely going to be a hard cast because the bone was in place at the time. It's been a week now and I haven't been able to get a cast because of the long weekend. So hopefully somebody will be able to get me in to get my cast on so I don't need surgery. Please pray that I don't need surgery and that I haven't messed it up, because these children have been testing me, and they told me not to put pressure on my foot, and that's pretty much impossible when I have toddlers that take advantage of the situation and their mom's problem. And so, there was some pressure put on my foot. So hopefully I didn't damage it too much. Hopefully everything's still where it should be. I have the soft cast on, so hopefully that's protecting my foot. And when you're done putting the dishes away, go ahead and start rinsing off your dishes and getting all the food off your dishes. And if you don't have a garbage disposal, which is odd, but I don't, most houses do. But if you don't, get rid of your food whatever way you do that, whether it's putting it outside or throwing it in the trash. Sometimes if I have like a big pot of like stew or something that's old in my fridge, I'll go outside and dispose of it, because you don't want just food rotting in your trash can or something dripping out of your trash can and making a bigger mess. And also, while I'm doing this stage, because I've been really bad about my fridge in the past, I like to, while I'm rinsing off my dishes, just look in my fridge and make sure that there's not any old food or anything in my fridge. Any dishes in the fridge that needs, the leftovers need to be cleaned out, and those dishes need to be clean. That way, while I'm in the dish mode, I can get those clean, because once I'm out of the dish mode, I don't want to get back into the dish mode. I know you guys can relate to that. So maybe while you're rinsing, just give a little check in your fridge. And then once you're done rinsing off your dishes, just get in there and clean your dishes whatever way you prefer. I mentioned I liked using the scrub brush with the dispensable soap scrub brush with the sponge on it, and I just get the replacement sponges and keep those in my house, in the kitchen and in the bathroom, with dish soap in it. That's my favorite for washing the dishes. It's very easy. So anyway, they wouldn't take my insurance in Hobbs because it was, at the place they referred me to, so that was annoying, and they said I'd have to go home to get the cast. So I've been trying to set up an appointment, and had to cut my visit short with my parents, unfortunately, and come on home. But the kids were very excited to see the kittens. Their dad was taking care of them while I was away, and even though I was only away for like 5 days, they looked so much bigger, and they were just adorable. We were very excited to see them. They want to explore the house now. I try to keep them in the room as much as possible so they don't, poop all over my house, because obviously it's hard for me to clean right now. My husband has been doing a very good job cleaning up after the kittens for me, but when he's at work, I don't just let him roam free, because obviously I don't want to create more work for myself. My little sister that was involved in the accident, the one that was knocking on the door, she was kind enough. She's so sweet. I was having issues with my crutches because I'm really klutzy and I kept falling, and it was giving me bruises in my armpits because I was using them wrong. So she got me a walker, and I put the babies on the walker. I'll post a picture of it in my social media, the Clean With Me Facebook and my Patreon. So I got this walker, she got it for me, and I put my leg up on the walker and wheel around my house. It's a little bit difficult because my house is small, but super helpful, because I pop the 1-year-old on the walker and wheel her around the house. And it's a little annoying when the 3-year-old and the 1-year-old are on the walker, because then there's not much room for, the broken foot, but still very effective, and it's the best thing that I could have gotten in this situation, and it's how I'm surviving and cleaning my house right now. I would not be able to do it without the walker, so that was very sweet of her to do that for me, and I'm really grateful that she bought that for me. And it is hilarious that because she is a crybaby and she wants to be held like 24/7, so it was really tough on her that I could not hold her, so this is kind of like the replacement for that, and she's super happy that she gets to be wheeled around in this chair, at least, since mommy can't hold her. And my husband has been picking up the slack, with the household chores and helping me, because obviously it's kind of hard for me to keep the house immaculate when he's gone. It's not looking as good as it used to. It's been rough the last few days, and, I have a lot of work to catch up on, paintings and such, that I was trying to get done at my mom's house, but, with everything that happened, it was a little hard. And I felt bad because my dad and my siblings and my mom were just doing everything for the kids, because it was a learning curve with me getting around. Now it's easier for me. I have, I know what to do now. I'm used to it a little bit more because it's been almost a week now, so I'm used to getting around without my foot. And, before I was completely helpless, but so it's getting better. I'm getting more done, so that's good. So just keep chugging along on those dishes. If you can get all of your dishes done today, that's a big priority for me, and it should be for you too, because that's the thing that will get real funky real quick is your dishes. If you don't keep up with the dishes, then it makes it 1,000 times worse for you. And I try to just tell myself that all the time, because I really hate the dishes. And of course, as an adult and as a mother, or just a homeowner, or I don't own my home, but you know what I mean, as a person, adulting, it's something that you do constantly, is the dishes as an adult. So it sucks, and I don't have big kids yet to do my dishes, but one day my girls will be doing the dishes and I won't have to wipe butts anymore. That'll be the day. I'm just kidding. I love my babies. I like it that they're small. I get so sad because they're getting so big so fast, but it will have their perks when they're teenagers. But anyway, I try to keep up with it because it's something, I have to think about a lot. Like, okay, you need to do those dishes every time when I wake up. I'm like, after the breakfast mess, I want to sit down, I want to chill. But I'm like, if you don't do it now, you're not going to do it. So just get those dishes done. So it's something I have to tell myself a lot. And if that's all you get done this entire episode, then that'll be awesome. And it'll be something that you don't have to worry about. Like, you don't want to leave laundry in your washer, which I will remind you to do a load after we do the dishes. You can put a load of laundry in the washer. You don't want to leave your clothes in the washer because they'll get moldy, and you don't want to leave your dishes in the sink because they'll get funky and food crusted on. So those are two things that you really want to keep up with. And of course the bathrooms, especially if you have small children. And those are the things that we kind of dread in our homes, but those are the things we really have to keep up with, or they get out of hand quickly. So I just mentioned the fridge, and I forgot to mention to go around your house and look for dishes. So if you haven't done that yet and you're still doing your dishes, go ahead and get your dishes out of the rooms of your house, or have your big kids, if you have big kids, get the dishes, or a husband or partner, whoever's in your house, kid, mom, whatever. Maybe have them collect them, or you go collect the dishes from the rooms. And just make sure you're getting all the dishes in the house, because same concept as with the fridge. While you're in the dishes mode, you want to get all the dishes done in the house. That way you're not like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to toss this in the sink, because then you're probably not going to get to it for a while. So I like to do it all in one swoop. And yes, I have a system for doing dishes. I have my walker, right? I prop my leg on the walker. It's for balance, and then that's how I do the dishes. The only thing is the kids' walker equals chair to the babies, and then they want to stand on the walker while I'm doing the dishes because I have it up there by the sink, and then they want to splash water everywhere. So that's been something I've just been letting them do because I can't win every battle. They like to crawl up on the walker and throw water all over me while I'm doing the dishes, but at least the dishes are getting done. That's the most important thing. So like I said, if you have a really bad dish situation today, that's fine. You guys keep working on that. But if you are done with the dishes, then put in a load of laundry, or when you get done with the dishes, then do a laundry switch and put a load in the washer. If you are having a lazy day and you just don't really think you're going to get that much done, or you have a lot of other cleaning in the house to do, I always try to at least put a load of towels in, because I like to fold as they come out, just because otherwise, like with the dishes, sometimes if you don't do it right when they come out, if you don't fold that laundry right when it comes out, then it kind of gets tossed to the side. So if I don't really feel like doing laundry or I'm super busy that day, I'll just do a load of towels. So I don't have to fold too much, 1,000 baby articles of clothing. And if you don't have that much cleaning today, then, put in a load of whatever. But that's just something I always try to at least do one load a day, if not 100, because I have lots of laundry. So whenever you get done with your dishes, just go ahead and do a laundry switch and do a load of laundry. And just put your clothes that need to be folded in a laundry basket off to the side for at the end of the episode when you take that break, your folding break, if there was something in the dryer. If not, then what you're putting in right now will be folded at the end of the episode. So after being gone and being at my mom's house, I was coming into the house as a stranger because it had been a week and my husband had been living in the house by himself and, moving stuff around. So it wasn't too different, obviously, but, I got to the first time cleaning my house with the broken foot, like I said, was a learning curve, but I also was looking at it from the perspective of almost a stranger because I hadn't been there in so long. And, I was just looking, I like to look at things from another person's perspective and just think like what looks out of place, what looks funky, what can I move around. And he's helping me a lot, but how I have a problem with delegation. I've had to learn to delegate and accept help from people, and that's something that just has to be done in this case. I hate asking people for help, but I've had to ask him for a lot. He's been really great. But he is one of the main offenders when it comes to clutter on the countertops. So, but he also, helps put it away, but sometimes I have to point it out to him because like anybody, we get used to seeing it, you know what I mean? So I, cleared the countertops, the little areas that collect stuff and stuff like that, and he helped me put stuff away. But when you're doing that and you're picking up around your kitchen and putting stuff that needs to go in other rooms away, make sure you're putting them where they go so you're not creating more work for yourselves. Don't just, put them out of place in another area or move them to another surface, because that just creates more work for yourself. We're always tempted to do that, but then once you go into the other room to clean it, you're like, and then you just end up leaving it there. So I try to put everything where it goes. If you don't use it, don't just move it around. Get rid of it. I tend to want to keep everything, and, I have to think to myself, when's the last time I used this? Am I ever going to use this again? Do I just have it for no apparent reason? Okay, it needs to be donated or gotten rid of. I've done a big purging lately, as, I talked about in the decluttering episode of my house, and it's been so much easier to find stuff lately, and there's a lot less junk and just clothes that are stained and damaged and that no one's ever going to wear, and they just keep going through the wash because the kids are playing with it or for whatever reason, and that's the kind of stuff that we need to be getting rid of or donating. Stuff that always seems to turn up in the house, but no one's actually wearing. There's always like random, if you have kids, there's always like random swimsuits in the wash, and you're like, it's winter, like, why is there swimsuits? Or it's summer, why is there gloves in the laundry bin, from the kids playing? Obviously, sometimes we have to use stuff like that, and it's just out of season, in which case we need to find a place for it and put it up in a way so that kind of stuff doesn't happen. And that prevents you wasting water by washing something because the kids are wearing winter clothes in the summer, whatever. So once you're done picking up everything in your kitchen that's not supposed to be there, looking from a different perspective and getting any clutter off your countertops or your table, then it's time to start wiping down and get those trusty either rag and soap in water or your Clorox wipes, my holy grail of cleaning products. I love Clorox wipes, lemon scent, generic. Those are my fave. And, just wipe down everything. Look at your cabinets, do those need wiping down? Get those. Your faucet behind your sink. Sometimes gunk builds up when you're doing the dishes. Make sure you're getting behind the sink. And if you're still doing the dishes, like I said, that's fine. You can either, pause me if you don't. I'm just giving you ideas. It's okay if you don't get to everything. If you are, that's great. Good for you. You're getting a lot done. If not, you're still getting a lot done, just different things, and that's fine. Just whatever applies to you, whatever you need to do in your kitchen, you go ahead and be doing that. So just really be wiping down those countertops and your stove top. Make sure you get your stove top real good. Behind your stove, make sure there's no grease splatter or anything. You want to get that right away so it doesn't stain. Your oven, around your oven, your handles on everything. Your refrigerator probably needs to be wiped down, at least the handles. Take a look in your microwave. Is that needing a cleaning? Do you need to wipe out the inside of your microwave really good? Maybe take out the glass part and wash it in the sink. Chairs, high chair. Does your high chair need a thorough cleaning? A lot of times when we're feeding the kids, sometimes we'll just clean the tray and not just take a good look if you have kids in a high chair, or just kids that eat at the table messy. Look at your chairs and just look and see if there's anything really, dried onto the chairs, any funk on your chairs, on the high chairs, and make sure you really get in there and wipe down everything. Maybe the inside of your fridge needs to be wiped down. Maybe you just need to do a quick once over and there's just some splatters in there, or maybe you need to take everything out and really get in there and just wipe everything down. Whatever you need. I just needed a once over this time. I just quickly, there was a couple little areas that something had spilled or something, and I just wiped those up real quick. Maybe take a look inside your pantry. Is there anything out of place? And if you're gone and a teenager or a husband or somebody else has been staying in your house, sometimes if you haven't been living in there yourself, in my case, I just, kind of, when I was cleaning, I looked in places I didn't normally look because I hadn't been there in a while, so I don't know, what needs to be done and what doesn't need to be done. So I took a look in the pantry to see if there was anything out of place. There wasn't, but if you need to wipe down maybe like some rice or, something spilled in your thing in your pantry, or anything's out of place, or it needs to just be wiped down because it's dusty or something, just organize your pantry, see if there's anything that needs to be adjusted, anything that maybe isn't closed right, anything like that. And once you're done doing a thorough wiping down of your kitchen, there's probably some crumbs on the floor after that, and you probably wiped some things off on the floor. If you want to save your floors till the end of the episode, because I like to do my flooring all at once in my house. If you're like me, then just make sure you're doing just a quick spot sweeping or a quick sweep, if you have a small house like I do, of just those crumbs so that you're not tracking them throughout the house. And just do a quick once over and get those problem areas to get all of the crumbs and stuff, so you're not just spreading it throughout the house and making a mess, especially if you have carpet in your other rooms. While you're finishing up wiping, my 3-year-old has started being very manipulative, and it's hilarious. I was calling her the hero of the day when she'd bring me my crutches. I'm like, you're my hero, thank you, hero of the day. When she'd bring me my crutches when I was sitting down, I'd be like, bring me my crutches, baby, or my walker. And so she purposely, so I would need her, started moving them away from me when I was sitting down. And I was just like laughing to myself. It was so funny. She'd move them away from me, so I'd be like, Juliana, can you bring me my, walker? Okay, mommy. And then she'd bring it to me, so I'd call her my hero. Well, then, she started thinking, and she started moving it away before she'd go get into something. So she would like move my crutches and my walker away from me and then start getting into stuff. So that wasn't any fun. She learned how to work me. She got in trouble for that. And earlier, I told him, Juliana, can you open the back door and let the dog out in the backyard? Well, when she did that, her little sister just took off into the backyard. And that was really fun. I had to run out in the backyard with my crutches chasing after a 1-year-old that had stripped down because she has to be naked when she uses her potty. She has to be completely in the nude to pee, so she's always naked. And she ran into the backyard, and I had to chase her with the crutches, gave the neighbors a show. They were probably like, what in the world? I'm like yelling like a crazy person for her to get back here, hobbling on my crutches to go get her while she's just taken off. And I probably hurt my foot in the process, but it's funny now. It wasn't funny at the time, but that happened today. And I was telling my 3-year-old to help me go get her, and she was trying to, but my 1-year-old is mean. She's a mean baby, and she was like hitting her when she tried to go get her, so I had to go run after her with my crutches. I wish I had a videotape of it. I'm sure it looked hilarious. So you should be finishing up with the kitchen now. I'm going to move on to the living areas. If you're not done, that's perfectly okay. Either rewind me, stop me, or you could just continue along for the entertainment purposes and keep chugging along on your dishes or your kitchen area. If you want to go ahead and do extra things. I usually would, when I used to listen to my mom, I used to just rewind if I had a bad kitchen day and, just clean along with her just because I liked cleaning along with her. So, whatever works for you. But I'm going to move on to the living area. If you haven't opened the windows yet, go ahead and do that. Open up the area, brighten up the mood, keep yourself nice and motivated. Don't get discouraged. I know sometimes cleaning the kitchen is a big, big deal, and it takes zaps a lot of your energy, but we got to keep going. We got to clean this whole house today. We're just going to do it really quickly so that we, 1 hour really isn't that much time. It is if you're busy, but if you have that 1 hour to devote to cleaning and you devote the whole hour to cleaning, your house looks so much better after. So go ahead and, get the big major areas of your living areas. Mine being the focal points being like the coffee table. Maybe you have a coffee table or your couches. Mine are the couches. So I go to my couches first. I look underneath those cushions. Is there crumbs under your cushions? Does that need to be vacuumed out with a hand vacuum or a broom? It's just swept. Sometimes I'll just sweep it out, or I'll vacuum it out depending on how thorough or how bad it needs it. If you don't need to do that, then just fix your cushions and your pillows and make them look nice. Alright, you guys, I had a little one wake up, so I'm distracting her with food, but I'm sorry if you hear her in the background. So just be, fixing your cushions, clear any surface areas. Is there anything on your, surfaces, your coffee tables, your end tables that need to be put away and put back into the rooms? Or maybe you have a coffee table that opens. Is there anything that's out of place in that coffee table that you need to take care of? Or like I have that ottoman that you can put stuff in. I check that. Pick up anything that's in your floor. Is there any toys on your floor or just clothing, anything out of place? You can deal with that now. Put that back in the rooms. Or maybe you have big kids. You can have them do this part, do the pickup. I'm sure you remember this from my mom. She's really big on like abbreviations. That's where I get all that from. Pickup, pick vac. She calls it a pick vac when you pick up and vacuum the living room. Laundry switch, our little taglines. So anyway, pick up your living areas. Is there anything that needs wiped down after you pick up and put everything away? Look at your surfaces. You probably need to wipe down your your coffee table, end table. Maybe you have a TV stand and a TV that needs to be wiped down. Maybe your windowsills need to be wiped down, or your blinds are dusty, or a ceiling fan that needs to be wiped down. For some reason, my front door kind of gets stuff on it sometimes, especially if it's rained. Like sometimes it'll get like splatter, and we just have a dog, so sometimes the dog will like scratch at the door. So I like to wipe down the door during this part too, and my doorknobs. I like to get all the doorknobs because sometimes they get, funky, and just to disinfect them. If you have any mirrors in your living area, wipe down those mirrors with some Windex and some paper towels or a rag. Is there anything on your walls, writing on your walls from kids, anything like that? Magic eraser or scuff marks from dogs. Magic eraser, magic eraser. Those are lifesavers. I've talked about them before. I love keeping those in stock because I always have a magic eraser situation. This is not a paid ad, but let me tell you, those things work. They're good for like soap scum. I mainly use it for writing on my walls because that's the main issue I have. And also when I get paint on stuff, I use it. And they're great. Again, I'm sorry if you hear my baby munching on food in the background. She woke up. But they're great for scuff marks from dogs and cats and stuff like that. They're awesome for that. Look at your couch after you've wiped everything down and see if it needs to be spot cleaned. If you have a cloth couch, get some Resolve or carpet cleaner, or maybe just Dawn soap and water and a rag. But I like to use carpet cleaner, an all-in-one scrub brush dispenser thing, and just do a spot cleaning of your couch. Look and see if there's anything that needs to be just cleaned quickly. As someone mentioned on my social media, she said that she took off her actual couch covers and washed them in the washer. And I do that occasionally. I was doing it too much because once you do it, it looks so like a brand new couch, so you're tempted to just wash them all the time. And my couch wasn't that, expensive of couch, so it started to tear a little bit underneath because I was washing it too much. That's why I spot clean it now more often than I do put it in the actual washer. But we do, if something major spills on it, we do, take the whole cushion cover off and throw it in the washer. And it does make the couches look brand new. I wish I could do it all the time, but it was starting to wear on my couch. But maybe you need to do that. Maybe you need to, they need a real deep clean and you need to just take your cushions off. Or maybe you have a leather couch. If you do, just, you probably have a special cleaner for it. If not, soap and water never hurt anything. And just get a rag and just, or a Clorox wipe or something, and just wipe down any spots on your couch. And if you have a raised couch, go ahead and look under your couch and get everything out from under your couch, under your TV stand, under your tables, anything can go under, and just check and make sure you don't have anything under there. I always do. I always take my broom and just, sweep everything out from under there, all the toys and random whatever that ended up under there, dog toys, food, who knows. In my house, it could be anything. It could be a blueberry, who knows. So, I get everything out from under there. There's been many a time I found pieces of fruit under my couch. That's why I mention it a lot, because I have a little chipmunk 1-year-old that likes to chew up fruit, suck the juices out of it, and then spit out the rest of it. And I usually get most of it, but sometimes pieces of it get under the couch. That's why I have to clean under my couch a lot. This is a daily thing for me because for some reason, things always end up under there. So I have to do it daily to keep up with it because, it could be, I have a small house, so people eat in the living area. And if your couch doesn't need an overhaul, maybe you don't need to clean up anything under your couch in your living areas. But look at your floor. If you have carpet, is there any spots that need to be spot cleaned that you can get with the carpet cleaner? Or if you have wood floors, is there any sticky spots or just major problem areas, maybe a sticker or something on the floor that need to be wiped down before you do your actual, full floor clean? Is there anything that just needs to be spot cleaned? You can get that right now. Your windows in your living room, I always forget to actually clean the windows, but they don't get dirty too often, but if you have little people touching them or if they just are dusty, maybe you need to clean your windows with some Windex in your living area. I haven't done that in a while. I definitely need to do that. I'm going to put that on my to-do list. And I mentioned this before, it's super satisfying whenever I make to-do lists, and I tend to get more done that way because it's really motivating for me to cross things off of a list. I'm very visual, and when I see clean living room, wipe down windows, stuff like that, and I get to cross that out. It's super satisfying, and it gives me a sense of accomplishment, and it motivates me. Maybe that's the case for you too. If so, if it works for you, try it out. Make a list, see if that works. I know it also works for kids too. Kids, my stepdaughter Adia, when she was younger, she used to prefer me to give them like an actual chore list and a written down bedtime. Like she liked the satisfying, crossing things off of a list thing also. So yeah, and then if you haven't done your pet chores, if you have pets, while I'm doing the living area, it makes me think of my pets, and in the mornings I like to just make my rounds and do all my pet chores. Maybe your dog, if you have a dog, maybe or a cat, they might need their bedding cleaned or washed. You can put those in the laundry area for when you do your laundry. Or maybe they have some blankets that need to be washed or something. You can put those in the laundry area. Maybe you need to, just clean out their cage. You can do that while you're doing your living areas. Feed the pets, clean out litter boxes, clean out fish tanks, whatever needs to be done, whatever animals you have in your house. Maybe now would be a good time to do your pet chores. If you have a bunch of pets and it's too much for you right now, you can do it at the end of the episode also. But I like to do it while I'm doing my living areas just because my animals get fed in the living area behind the couch. But with the kittens, I have to do pet chores multiple times a day to keep up with it. Otherwise, the room gets stinky really quickly because there's a lot of animals in that room, a lot of babies. So we full on disinfect that room at least once a day, and then we just do basic cleaning of it probably once or twice. One or two other times in the day, but we do a full-on disinfecting of the room so it doesn't stink, because we have a small house and it stinks real quick with all those little kittens in the room. And I hate the smell of cat litter. I don't like it when you go into a house and you're like, my house smells like cat. So I try to keep up with it, super well so that it doesn't smell like cat litter. I just don't like the smell at all. Probably nobody does. I'm sure no one loves the smell of cat litter. Well, there's probably someone out there, but who knows. Maybe you have pictures in your living area that needs straightening. Look around. Is there anything out of place? Does a lamp need to be wiped down or fixed? Or, any kind of mirrors crooked or pictures crooked? Maybe you can fix those now. Fix any blinds that are out of place or messed up. I've mentioned before, my kids broke a couple of my blinds and they drive me insane. And my mom had mentioned something about my grandma saying you can take all of the blinds out and like redo them because there's always some extra at the bottom. So maybe I could do that and replace them with the extras that are on the bottom instead of buying all new ones. I'll probably end up doing that. I think it's pretty time consuming from what I've looked up about it, but it would be worth it to save the money. And if you don't have time to do all your floors now, I will remind you at the end of the episode. And I always forget to remind y'all at the end of the episode, but I definitely will this time. I'm sorry. Every time I'm editing, I'm like, I didn't remind them to clean the floors. Why do I always forget that? I don't forget to do it. I always clean my floors at the end of, my whole house cleaning because I do it all at once, but I always forget to say it on the show. Like a dodo. So same thing with if you have a hallway or anything. Are there any pictures out of place? Or does anything need spot cleaning? Or do you need to clean off a door if there's scuff marks or, a door handle, anything like that? You can do that right now. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the bathroom now. If you're not done with your living area, no problem. You can either rewind it or pause it. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the bathrooms now, though. I don't know how many living areas you have or how many bathrooms, so if you ever need extra time, you could just rewind me. But as we go into our bathrooms, this is probably TMI, but I usually take showers, right? And obviously, I'm not very, I'm pretty clumsy, so I can't take showers on one foot. So, I was taking a bath and I was looking at my bathroom from a different perspective and noticing a lot of things that I don't look at while I was, trying to take a bath with one foot out of the bath. And I was like, seeing all the spots that I need to clean, the corners and whatnot of my bathroom. So, but first thing first, is there any laundry in your laundry basket? If you have a laundry basket in your bathroom, or just any dirty laundry that maybe somebody left on the floor, go ahead and move that to your laundry room or your laundry area. That way you'll be reminded to clean that. And I think I mentioned before in a previous episode, I have like a big black bin that's in, because my laundry area is in my living room. So when I'm moving my sheets or my laundry from the bathroom or something into the laundry area, I don't really want it just sitting on the floor behind my couch in a pile or in a laundry basket, because it just doesn't look nice. If someone were to stop by or something, I don't want my, everybody's underwear and undergarments or whatever just out for guests to see or whatever. So we got this big black bin and it just works out perfectly. Obviously, don't put anything wet in the black bin. You don't want to put anything wet in there because obviously it'll smell like mildew, and it is a pretty big black bin. But the reason why we got such a big one is so that we could put our bedding and stuff in there and kind of hide it while we're doing our laundry. So once you've put all your clothes in the laundry area, I would highly recommend that laundry bin thing if you're like me and you have like a laundry area that's in like a living area or somewhere, or if you have a big laundry room, it would be a good thing to get if you have space for it. But once you're done with that, just start wiping down. Just like in the kitchen, you want to just wipe down everything you possibly can. Quickly wipe down your mirror with windex or a glass cleaner, and then get your Clorox wipes. I love using disposable wipes for the bathroom. If you like using rags, that's fine. My husband prefers those. And just wipe down behind the sink. Make sure you're getting behind the sink, your countertops, on the side of your cabinets. Take a look inside your cabinets. Is it a jumbled mess in there? Has stuff gotten just crazy and unorganized? That happens a lot in my house because the kids get into the drawers. Those often need overhauls and to be reorganized. So maybe you need to do that. Or maybe you have stuff all over your countertops. I don't have very much surface area, so that kind of saves me from having to deal with that. But if you have big countertops or multiple bathrooms with a bunch of, products on it, maybe you need to organize those products and put them away. If you have teenagers or other people living with you that are under your care, maybe this would be a good time to tell them, if you have like guest bathrooms or something, or they like there's a kid assigned a bathroom or something like that. I only have one bathroom, but you can tell them to clean up their bathrooms right now, or at least if they're younger, maybe just tell them to put their laundry away and do a wipe down, and then you could do the deep cleaning part, whatever phase of life you're in, whatever you have going on in your life. But if you can delegate, it's always good to do that if you have multiple bathrooms going on. So I like to start with the mirror, then I do the countertop. Anyway, once I'm done doing the countertops, then I look at I either go to the toilet if you're using disposable. If you're not, then do the floor. Well, you want to use a separate rag for the toilet, obviously. If you're using disposables, then it's no biggie. But I like to do the toilet, you do the handle first, then all the parts that get touched first, and then do the bowl. And then I like to use that squirty toilet bleach on the inside rim to make sure you get underneath the rim of the toilet and make sure that, sits in there for a little bit while you're doing the rest of the stuff to make it nice and bleached and clean. And then what I noticed when I was taking a bath, what I mentioned earlier, was there was like corners of my grout on my floor of the bathroom that just needed to be wiped down. The corners that aren't Swiffer isn't getting. So I wiped those down with a Clorox wipe and just got into, the grout. And I like to wear gloves when I do the bathroom. It helps me do a deeper clean and really get in there, because I'm a little bit weird about cleaning bathrooms. So the gloves really help me do a deeper clean. Once you're done cleaning the floors and your toilets, the bleach in your toilet has sat there for a little bit, go in there with a toilet bowl cleaner, scrubber, and just scrub the inside of there until it's nice and clean. And when you're cleaning the outside of the toilet, when you're wiping that down, make sure you're getting all areas of it behind the toilet. That's why the gloves help, so you can really get in there behind the toilet, on the sides of the toilet, by the little back parts that don't usually get seen. You need to make sure you're getting those, because it'll collect dust and other funk. So make sure you're getting behind there. And I usually clean my shower while I'm in the shower and taking a shower, because that's when I'm able to do it. But if you aren't taking a shower right now, I like to keep that scrubber in there with, soap scum cleaner, and just do a really good scrubbing of your tile or whatever you have in your bathroom, and make sure you're getting around the faucet and getting any buildup, and just getting any, and like I said, those magic erasers are good for really built up soap scum too, if you have something that's just not coming off. Make sure you're thoroughly cleaning, the shelving with your shampoos and whatnot on there, because those will collect grime more than anything. And the corners, also the corners of the grout and stuff in your bathtub, they'll collect stuff. Those need to be cleaned, because the longer you let it go, like with anything, the worse it'll be. That's something that I hadn't been doing really as often as I should. I have to clean my bathroom a lot, because we all have we use one bathroom, so it gets dirty really quick. So the tub really needed a really good bleaching and just overall cleaning. So when you're done just doing your initial scrubbing, if it needs that extra bleaching in the tub and you have a well-ventilated bathroom, make sure you're opening up the windows and just spray it down with the shower head. Make sure it's nice and wet and damp. And then I like to use that Ajax bleach, the sprinkly bleach, and you make sure it's damp, and then you sprinkle the bleach all in the tub and let it sit there for a little bit. And then make sure you're wearing gloves for this part, otherwise the bleach is going to irritate your skin. And then really get in there and scrub that tub out once it's sat for a little bit. Give it time to process. And I do the bleaching of my tub once a week. I do just the scrubbing with the scrub brush, the dispensable soap sponge brush, the same one, not the same one, but the same type I use in the kitchen every time I take a shower. That way I keep up with it, and I just think of it while I'm in there. I keep that scrub brush in there, and I just do a once over, so there's no buildup. But the bleaching I don't do but once a week if it needs it. And like I said before, if you have cupboards, cabinets that need to be reorganized, just look in your cabinets, and if you need to put any fresh towels in your bathroom, you could do that right now. If you need to take your decorative towels and wash them, maybe they haven't been washed in a while, or your drying off towel, if that needs to be washed, then you can do that now and bring it to the laundry room, or replace them with new towels. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the bedrooms now. If you're not done with the bathrooms, that's all right, but I'm going to go ahead and move on. And you guys are doing really great up to this point. You guys have gotten a lot done, even if you're not cleaning exactly with me. If you've just been cleaning this entire time, you're doing a lot, you're getting a lot done, and that is awesome. And I'm sure your house looks a lot better than when you started, because 49 minutes of straight cleaning is a lot of cleaning. So as you're going into your bedroom, since this is the main episode, I like to, if I haven't already done it, I like to wash my sheets. So if it's a bed that's being slept in often, whatever room that you're in today, deep cleaning or just cleaning, make sure you, if you haven't washed your sheets this week, you go ahead and clean them. I have to wash my sheets a lot more often than that, just because my kids sleep with me. But move those over to the laundry area to remind you to wash them, and make sure they're somewhere where you can see them, and make sure they're a priority, because you want them obviously clean by the time it's bedtime. And I like to just move them to the laundry area so I can see them and they're there. So next time I go over to do laundry, I'll see them and it'll remind me to put them in the next load. If you're in the teenager phase of life, tell them to delegate and tell them to clean their rooms as well. And if they need to move their bedding to the laundry area, tell them to do that. Or if you have littles like I do, go ahead and move their bedding over to the laundry area as well. And then once you're done with that, just look around and ask yourself, is there anything that's out of place? Are there folded clothes, dirty clothes? If you have dirty clothes, make sure everybody in the house is taking their dirty clothes at this time and moving them to the laundry room. If you have dirty clothes on your floor in your room or in your laundry basket, move those to the laundry area for when it's time to clean the room. All of our big kids have their own laundry baskets, so we keep them in their individual laundry baskets when they're here and doing their laundry. I do their laundry, but I keep their laundry separate so it doesn't get all mixed into our stuff, to the parent stuff, because they are similar in size and I don't want to mix up their clothes. So if you have teenagers with separate laundry baskets, you can just tell them to move their laundry baskets to the laundry areas. If there's any accumulation of things on your dressers, on your side tables, put those away where they go. Or if it's a kid room you're cleaning up, if there's any toys, clean up the toys or delegate to them to do it, depending on what phase of life you're in. If you don't have kids and it's just you, look in your drawers. Are your drawers a hot mess? Do they need to be reorganized? Maybe that's something you need to put on your to-do list for a deep clean. Are you finding it hard to find your clothes? Are you having trouble keeping up with it? Maybe you just need to do an overhaul and, make sure everything that you have is stuff that you actually wear, and that'll make it a lot easier to find your things. Full organization of your house is always the goal. It's not always possible. Like I mentioned in a previous podcast, the goal that I strive for, I don't always get to it, and it's not always possible, but it's a good goal to have. Just try to do your basic house cleaning and one extra every day, and your basic maintenance, and then that one extra, one problem area. And if you successfully do that, our house would be caught up with. We don't always get to do that, and I don't always get to that. I'm not perfect by any means, but the goal is always basic cleaning and one extra, and that'll get you where you need to be. Because no matter how good of a housekeeper you are, there's always an area in your house that gets forgotten for a certain period of time or just neglected, because we can't be at all places all the time. So there's always a drawer or an area in your house, or a clothing or a cabinet or a pantry or something that gets neglected, or a coat closet. So, that's what I'm talking about. Just tackle, if you just make your goal, or if you can't do once a day, once a week. Either way, just try to do one extra. Maybe you just want to do your one extra on Sundays during the Sunday episode or something like that. That would be a good thing. Whatever's realistic for you. Just make a realistic goal that will work for you and that you think you can keep up with. I like to shoot for the stars with my once a day. Obviously, that I don't always get to that, but if I have that goal, then, more days than not, I am doing an extra thing. So that's why I do that for myself anyway. It doesn't have to be a big thing, just a little thing. Maybe your extra thing is just doing more than 1 or 2 loads of laundry or something. That's what I mean by something extra. It doesn't always have to be a decluttering. You could just be doing some extra loads of laundry or bleaching your tub, or, something you don't do every day. So that's what I mean by something extra, or cleaning out your fridge, something like that. So if you're not washing your sheets and your bedding, then you can go ahead and make your beds if you've already done that, already washed them. Is there anything that needs to be wiped down in your bedrooms? Any surface areas that need to be wiped down? Maybe there's a ring from like a coffee cup or a water bottle or something on your nightstand that you need to wipe down. If you need to sweep out your bedroom or you want to save that to the end and do everything, that's fine. Or if you want to vacuum real quick, or if you want to save that to the end, that's fine. I'll actually remind you. And then if there's anything in your room that needs dusted, maybe you have a bookshelf that needs to be dusted or a ceiling fan or something like that. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up the episode. If you're not done with your bedroom, that's fine. You can rewind me or just finish up after the episode. If you haven't done your floors yet, make sure you remember after the episode to go ahead and vacuum your house, clean your floors. I like to use Fabuloso. I think it smells good for my floors. I have wood floors throughout my entire house, so it's real easy for me to just go in with the Swiffer, or I like to just use a regular rag with, Fabuloso on my Swiffer when I can't afford the Swiffer pads, or I just don't have them on hand. Because sometimes, you have to change them out like 1,000 times and they're not ideal. So don't forget to do your floors, do a thorough sweeping, and then, vacuum or mop don't forget to do the bathrooms and your bedroom. If you just have time to do the outer areas in the kitchen, do those first and then work your way back. But I'm really proud of you guys. You guys did great. You did a lot of cleaning today. Whatever you got done was more than you had done before the episode. And you guys made progress, and that's the most important thing. Whatever you got done today, I'm proud of you guys. You guys did great. Thank you so much for cleaning with me. And I really hope that you enjoyed today's episode. I really hope that it motivated you. I hope you got something done. I'm sorry that this one isn't as polished as the rest of them because I did it with my children in the background once they woke up. As I say that, the baby screams. But I really appreciate you guys listening and cleaning, and it makes me happy that, you guys are getting stuff done to my episodes, and it's helping you because, housework is something that we all have to do, but sometimes it's really hard to keep up with, especially when, things happen in your life where maybe you have a broken foot or something, sometimes it's not on the top of the priority list, but we have to make it a priority for us, and we have to make it happen, and we have to make time for it even when there is no time, because it's something that we'll have to do at one point, no matter what. So the more we keep up with it, the less work we make for ourselves in the long run. If you guys haven't followed me on Facebook or Instagram, it's at Clean With Me Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And also, if you want to follow my art pages, it's at Jessica's Custom Work, all lowercase, on Facebook and Instagram, at Jessica's Custom Work. I got some stickers in the mail, so those of you that support me on Patreon, if you want to get some stickers, go ahead and DM me your addresses if you want to do that, and I'll send you some stickers. I got some Clean With Me Podcast little stickers and Jessica's Custom Work stickers. And then if I have any extra after my supporters send me their addresses, then I will send the rest to whoever, contacts me and asks for them. While supplies last, I didn't buy that many of them. But, I would appreciate the advertising and the support. Maybe pop them on your phone case or a cup or something like that. I put mine on my phone case, and I'm going to put some on my cast when I get that, hopefully soon. And if you would like to support me, that's just extra. If you feel like you want to do that, I have a Patreon. I'll put the link in the description of the episode. But thank you guys so much for listening, and as always, happy cleaning.